Welcome to our deep dive, everyone. All right, let's dive into the V75 at Halmstad, huh? Should be a good one this Saturday.
Yeah, lots to unpack here.
Definitely. We've got horses switching things up left and right, going barefoot, new drivers, some even making their first appearance of the year.
It's going to be interesting for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of potential for some upsets. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, big time. Tons of red on the data sheets this week.
So let's jump right in, race by race, see what we can figure out. First up, V75 1. And right away, we've got a bit of a head scratcher.
Ooh.
Esteban Bar. Good stats, but not exactly known for quick starts.
Right.
How does that play into the whole early lead situation?
Well, funny you should mention that because Mr. Shy Guy, supposed to be the early leader, he's coming off a tough race.
Interesting. So a slow start might not be the end of the world for Esteban Bar if the leader's already a bit winded. But then you've got DeChambeau, who could, throw a wrench in that whole early lead prediction thing.
For sure.
Thomas Erberg's both driving and training him too, so.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
It makes you wonder if they've got some kind of master plan in the works.
Lots of confidence there.
Right, like a coach that really knows the athlete inside and out.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got our potential front runners, but what about horses who like to come from behind?
Well, in that case, keep an eye on Popeye Tuma. Starting from lane 12 is never ideal, but he's coming off a nice long break. Could be a factor.
Fresh legs.
Exactly. And Popeye Tuma, well, he has a knack for exceeding expectations. Let's just say that.
I like it.
Yeah.
So that outside starting position might not be such a big deal after all.
We'll see, won't we?
All right, let's move on to V75 2. Now, this one's a stayer race, a real marathon for these horses with the multiple starting tiers.
Adds a whole other layer of complexity, that's for sure.
It does. Always makes for an exciting race. So statistically speaking, who are we looking at?
Well, you got to look at El Thermelin Affair and, of course, Katmandu Miras. Hard to ignore that undefeated record.
Yeah, that's impressive. But, I'm always a sucker for an underdog story.
I hear you.
Any long shots in this one that might, shake things up a bit?
If you're looking for a dark horse, Quillerby could be interesting. This one, well, longer races, they thrive. And this field being so spread out could be a real advantage.
All right. Moving on to V75 3. And this one, we've got a real stunger on our hands.
Stens Rubin, the Winter King, been absolutely crushing it win after win. Definitely the statistical favorite. Lots of the experts agree on that one, too.
But didn't you say earlier that sometimes those winter champs, they kind of fizzle out come springtime?
It does happen. It's like they peak too soon.
Yeah.
But Stens Rubin, well, he's been so consistently dominant that he might just be the exception to that rule.
So defying the odds. I like it.
Always fun to watch.
Are there any other contenders we should be paying attention to in this race?
Definitely keep an eye on Betting Pacer. Great track record in Paris and usually does well this time of year.
Okay, and what about Emoji?
Emoji is going barefoot. That could be a real game changer.
Hang on, going barefoot.
Some horses just perform better without shoes, allows for more natural movement, better speed, and even stamina, especially on certain surfaces.
Wow, you learn something new every day. So we've got a potential record-breaking champion, a seasoned international competitor, and a barefoot contender. V75 3 is going to be a showdown. All right, but before we get too caught up in that, let's move on to V75 4. This one's giving me some serious value bet vibes.
Okay, tell me more.
Take me funny. Sober looks really good, statistically speaking, but the experts seem to be leaning towards some other horses. What's the disconnect there?
It's one of those cases where, well, the experts are seeing something beyond the numbers. Nice steal. A lot of folks like him for this one, but the distance might be a bit much.
So stamina could be an issue.
Could be. Nice steal, could tire out. And when a front runner gets tired, well...
That's when the upsets happen.
Right. So who's going to step up and seize the opportunity? Well, Global Empress is getting a lot of buzz.
Really?
Yeah. There's talk of a very specific race plan for her, coming from the stable,
Ooh, a little inside info.
Maybe. But it's something to consider, for sure.
Absolutely. It's like a chess match out there. You've got to have a strategy.
Exactly.
So we've got Global Empress, but what about some of the other contenders?
Don't count out Be My Baby. Versatile horse, lots of potential.
Okay, so we've got some potential spoilers to watch out for in that race. Moving on to V75-5, and this one's wide open.
No kidding. Experts are all over the place with this one.
So any favorites emerging for you? Or is it truly anyone's game?
This is where a good bettor can really shine. You got to look beyond the obvious.
Find those hidden gems.
Right. Deadly Map, that's a curious one. They're the favorite, but their recent performance hasn't been stellar.
Interesting.
But maybe that works in their favor. People might be underestimating them. And with a good start, well, Deadly Map could surprise some folks.
I like that. Sometimes it's good to be the underdog.
For sure. Now, Fawaz Mill is another one that's been benefiting from some strategic changes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, plus Fawaz Mill could snag a good position early on, which is always a plus.
Yeah, position is everything, right? Got to set yourself up for success.
Exactly. Oh, and don't forget about Great Ruler.
Great ruler.
This one has a history of strong performances, and some recent adjustments could really boost their performance.
Interesting. Interesting. So we've got a mix of favorites, long shots, and potential surprises in that one. Okay, let's move on to V75-6. And it looks like we've got another battle between the statistics and the experts.
Oh, how so?
Amazing. Hazel is looking good on paper, statistically. But the experts are, well, they seem to be leaning towards other horses.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Kyrie Elason is a real interesting one here. Tons of potential, but stuck with a less than ideal starting position.
So we'll see if they can overcome that hurdle. Any other horses in this one you think have a good shot at winning?
Winter Broad is a contender for sure.
Winter Broad. Okay.
This horse, they've beaten top-ranked horses before.
Wow, that's fascinating. So Winter Broad, definitely one to watch. Anyone else?
Keep an eye on Tuppen. Local horse, racing barefoot on their home turf, likely to take an early lead. And if those favorites tire themselves out, Tuppen could pull off a surprise victory.
I always love a good upset. All right, let's move on to the final race of this V75, race number 7. And they saved the most unpredictable for last, it seems.
It does, doesn't it? A fitting end to what should be a great day of racing.
So for this grand finale, who do you have your eye on?
Tough to say, but statistically, Limeril Perpool looks strong. And going barefoot for the first time, that's got to count for something.
It gotta be an advantage, right?
You would think so. But like I said, this one's a toss-up. Pickford, another one to watch. They've been racking up near wins lately.
Oh, so they're due for a win.
Maybe. And Too Cool to Lose, fresh off a V75 win, might be facing tougher competition this time around, but you can't ignore that momentum.
It's all about confidence, right?
Exactly. Oh, and there's Lift Ella Kenji. Might be overlooked, but they're going barefoot, and Magnus Adesi is driving.
That's a good combo. So we've got a statistical favorite, a horse in top form, a recent winner, A&D, a potential dark horse. This V75-7 is going to be a nail-biter.
No doubt about it.
We just covered a lot of ground, huh?
We did. But it's important to remember that this entire V75 round is, well, anything could happen. So many variables.
That's the beauty of horse racing. You never really know until they cross that finish line.
Right. And as we've seen, even the smallest detail can change everything. Going barefoot, the driver's experience, the strategy, it all matters.
It's like a puzzle, you know?
It is.
You got to consider all the pieces to get the full picture. And remember, whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, it's all about, it's about enjoying the races and appreciating these amazing horses.
Couldn't have said it better myself.